So today we'll see uh, lists in Python. So let me start this recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
So today we'll see list data structures in Python. So like strings and integers and all other data structures. So we have one of the data structures. It's called list. So lists are one of the data structures that are used heavily in Python. So we'll see what are lists. Okay. So lists are ordered collection of items that can store multiple values in a single variable. Okay. So here we can see this is single variables. You can store multiple values, strings as well as numbers. Okay. And a list is a ordered, so this is very important. So list is always ordered and it's a mutable. So you remember in the first day we discussed about two types of data types. One is mutable and immutable. So this list is mutable collection of items. So we'll see, uh, we'll recap that what does mutable mean. Is where each item can be of any data type. So inside a list, it can be integer, it can be float, it can be combination of strings and float, so on. A list allows you to group related data together under single variable. So under single variable, uh, I can declare a single variable A, and inside that I can put combination of strings, integers, all those things. Okay. Think of list like a row of boxes where each box holds a value. It can be number, it can be string, it can be floating point values, etc. Okay. So lists are enclosed in square brackets. So they are enclosed in square bracket. Here you can see these are square brackets. So this is how list is defined. So if you declare a variable equal to and give square brackets, that means this is a list. So that's how we define a list. Okay, so what are the key properties of a list? So it's ordered. So always the items inside a list, they are ordered. They have a fixed order. The first element stays first, second, third, and so on. Then it's a mutable. So if you change no value from a list, so it does not create a new memory. So it stores in the same memory. It replaces this value in the same memory. So it's a mutable data type. It can change the list after it's created. Okay, so it allows duplicates. So there is one data type that are sets that does not allow duplicates, but lists allows duplicates. So here you can see cherry. So if you give it two times, it will allow it. But when it comes to other data type, let's see, let me take this a sample. Okay, so might be this is not the right example. Okay, so it will allow list will allow duplicates, and it's a heterogeneous. That means you can combine numbers and strings, floating point value, and boolean. So all the data types in one list. And in previous class in strings, we talked about indexes, and uh, here also in lists, each of the value is indexed. Okay, so apple, banana, cherry. So these values are indexed. So index starts from 0. Okay, so this is how you can access a list of square bracket open and close, and you can give the index position to access the list. Okay, so now you can uh, create dynamic lists also. So it can grow or shrink in size. So you can add or remove elements anytime from a list. So let's see some of the examples here. So we are saying shopping cart equal to milk, bread, butter. So these three items we have, and we are printing it. Okay. So this is our list. So this is a simple list. This is a simple list. So similarly, you can create lists, uh, list of your three favorite movies, list of your five best friends, create a list of numbers from one to five. So this is how list can be created. So give an open and close bracket and assign a variable. That's it. It's so simple. Now we'll dig deeper into this, how to index, how to do slicing and dicing in the list. Okay. So whenever we have an list, we'll have an indexing on that list. So let's see what are the indexes. So I have a numbers variable declared, and that has a list 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. These are the items in my list. So let me run this numbers dot index. So I'm checking what is the index of item 10. Okay. So it says 0. So 10 stands at 0 index. Similarly, I can type 20. So 20 is at number 1 and 30 is at number 2. So similarly, this index, it always starts at 0, then uh, next value will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So indexes always will be n minus 1. So how many items we have in a list, count of those items minus 1. Those will be our indexes. So how many items we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 items. So 5 minus 1. Oh, sorry. This will be 4, not 5 actually. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our list. What in so what is an index? That's now we have seen this is an index. Okay. So let me print this index. So these are positive indexes. So likewise, when we are accessing a list from reverse, from the back of the list, from the end of the list, then we'll say negative indexes. Okay, so these are my negative indexes. So positive indexes always starts from 0 whenever we are accessing a list from the beginning of a list. But whereas if you are accessing a list from the end of the list, it will always start with -1 and go up to whatever the number. So let's say these are my lists. So I'm accessing my list from the end of the list. So this will be -1. So 60 will be -1. Then I will move back. 50 will be -2. So similarly, I will count -3, -4, -5, -6. So this you have to understand clearly, and you have to know beforehand, practice this so that if you are solving any problems related to lists, this will be very much handy. Okay, so now,
What is in that print statement we have minus len numbers minus I, right?
okay, so these are formatting. I have used it to showcase you what are the indexes. So length is a function that will count how many items I have in a list. So
Yes.
we can get it here. I'm just formatting this in such a way that the output uh, here showcases like what is the index x 60, 50, so that you have a clear idea how our indexes are assigned. So that's it. So I'm using a formatting here.
Like we have given two negatives here, right? In
Where?
print statement. In in print statement, we have given minus
Yeah, yeah.
length of bus and minus I. So how it is
Yes.
executed?
Okay. So first, what it's doing is it's counting the length. So
Yeah,
how much is the length? It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the length,
yeah,
and 6. And whenever we saw this in for loops, whenever we start a range function in for loop, it starts with 0. So our first loop will be 6 minus I, that means 6 minus 0. Okay, so our value will be 6. Then outside we have one more minus. So what we are saying, instead of 6, let call it as minus 6. So we are just formatting here with a minus at the end. So this will be printed. Similarly, now next I will become 1. Now our how much is the what is the length of numbers? That is 6. 6 minus 1 equal to 5. So my result will be 5. But what I am saying, outside put a minus 1 here so that it takes minus 1. So that's a formatting in a way I wanted to show you by executing it. So what are the indexes assigned to each of these items when we go in reverse direction? Okay.
yeah.
So, okay, let's move to the next topic, accessing a list. So now we have seen how to declare a list and what are the indexes of a list, how indexes are assigned when we are accessing lists from beginning to the end and in reverse order. Now, let's say I want to access number 10. I want to get that number 10. How do I access that? So, whatever the variable that I have, so I have this variable numbers. So I'll say numbers, then I'll say open and close bracket. Now I will use that indexes. So just now we learned about indexes, right? So based on our knowledge, this is at zeroth position. So if I want to access 10, I have to put a 0 here. So that means this is a way of saying that I want to access number 10 from a list. So if we do that, it will print the value 10. So similarly, I want to access number fourth position. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So at fourth position, it should be printed 50. So this is a way to access a list. So similarly, if I want to access list from in reverse direction, so from 60, 50 in a reverse direction, if I want to access a list, I can use negative indexes. So if I say print numbers of, so this is my variable. If I do a open and close bracket, so it's a way of saying that I'm accessing a list. So if I say -1, so I'm accessing list from reverse direction. Similarly, I can say -2. If I say -2, so 50. Same thing in strings. We have seen strings uh, uh, session also. In that also the same things plays out. So even if you're accessing from positive side of the list from beginning, this is how you can access. If you're accessing from the uh, end of the list, so this is how you need to access the list using indexes. Now let's see if I want to slice that list. So I want to use particular no
Option
slide.
for
Yeah.
yeah.
Any questions?
In indexing, if we have two same values, right? Like we have seen in cherries, you have typed, right? We
Yeah.
have two apples. So which index it will take in the list? So if you
Okay.
want to
So
know this, yeah,
it will take next index. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. This will be 3. So index will not change. So even if it is a duplicate, it will take another
So for
index.
duplicate value, it will consider it as one index only.
Yeah, separate index. If you see here, let me run this statement. So even if it is a duplicate, it will consider a separate value and separate index. So if you try to access this, so I'll change the variable name also. Fruits dot index. Okay. So this
So it will
is cherry. So
so
it's
it is
taking
taking first.
index 2.
It is taking the first duplicate index, right? No. Okay. Okay. So like
Okay,
both
so
the
the values are
both
same.
duplicates.
Since the values are same, uh, it's taking the same one. Yeah, but it will allow duplicate. So it will allow. So let me run the statement here. Let's see. Okay, so this is different index. So it will. This is apple, banana, cherry is 2. Again, cherry. This will be considered as another index.
Yeah.
But since the name is same, by default, it's accessing the second place. Since the names are
Okay.
same for both of them.
Okay. So like if we are having two duplicate value, it will consider the first one.
Yeah. So if you're no, since you are accessing, I'm checking the index through this index function. So this index function is considering the first, second value. But in reality, we have cherry as this is at second place. If you loop through these values, this will be considered second place. This will be considered third place. So this will be considered another value, another index. But since this name is same, right? So by default, it's going back to this. So this function. So if I'm trying to access through this function, it's by default going to this value. But if I run through a for loop, here you can see I'm running through a list, and 2 is this value and 3 is this. So this will be considered separately if we have duplicates also, separate index.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go back to slicing. Okay, so if I want to access a particular slice of a list, so here this is how I can define. So whatever the variables, numbers, then open and close bracket. So I need to define what is the start and what is the end. So my start will be uh, start equal to whatever the index number we are starting at, and my end will be, so whenever whatever number I define at end, so if I say 5, it will always stop at uh, n minus 1. So let's see that as an example. So I'm saying numbers of 1 comma 4. So it will start at 1. So let's do this. This is 0. This is 1. So what we are saying started here, 2, 3, 4. So you can notice here I said 4 here, but we stopped at 3. So in lists or even in strings, the end number will be always n minus 1. So if you define this, whatever you define the number, and it will always take n minus 1. So it will stop at whatever the number you define minus 1.
If
Okay.
you want to consider the last value 60,
Okay.
so we will type
So
so
if you want
one.
to consider last value, you can
Yeah,
say 4. 4, and let's say I want to access my 60 value, and whatever after it, I can say 4 and star. So it will access. What happened? Okay, so I'm trying to access two number. Okay, let me just say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 is this. This is 5, not 4. Okay, so if I want to access 60, I need to say 5. Okay, so it has access 60. So you can just call it 5. It will access single number. But if I want to say access everything after starting at 5, then now we don't have any number. Let's say tomorrow, oh, someone added more items in a list, and with your uh, this lines of code 5 colon, it will access more list starting at 60, then whatever comes after it. So it's like we didn't define any ending. Whatever maybe after this number 60, take all of them. So that's what it means.
okay.
So similarly, here we can see we are accessing a list from the beginning, and here we are accessing a list from the end. So first, let me access a list from the beginning. So if I want to access math, so first subject is math. If I want to access last second from the reverse order, English, what is after the English in the reverse order? History. So last two subjects. So if I want to access last two subjects, this is how I can access. Now in list, same thing plays out as with strings also. So in strings also, if I want to access in reverse order, this will get changed. So here what we said, start and end. So here end come first and start. So here we are not declaring start here. We are declaring end here. So we are saying end at minus 2. So in reverse order, positive, let me declare positive here. So positive numbers, what would be the positive indexes here? Positive indexes would be 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are my positive indexes. Okay. So negative indexes, what it would be? So it will start from minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So this will be minus 4 if I start accessing in reverse order. This is minus 3, minus 2, and minus 1. So this is how it will work in indexes. So what I'm saying, I have defined my end. What is my end? Minus 2. So I'm saying end at minus 2. So whatever could be the starting. So then it says first subject is math, last two subjects are history and English. This is how it will access. So
So for
these,
minus,
yeah, go ahead.
okay, so for minus 2 also, will take the forward number, right? The forward values, history and
minus.
English. And positive also, it was taking the values from right side. Like we have
Um,
typed in previous one 50, right? Then it was taking 50, 60, 70, 60,
hmm
70, 80. And in
Okay.
minus 2 also, it is taking history and English. So what is the difference? Like in both positive and negative, it is taking the values from the
No,
right
no.
side.
What I'm saying is, in the negative values, this is, let me define both at once in positive order. So in positive order, we'll define start first and next. If I want to access a list from beginning to end, so I'll first define what is my start, then end what is the end. So end, always end equal to whatever number is n minus 1. And here, when I am accessing list in reverse order, I will define my end first. So end will be whatever number we have defined. So it will not take n minus 1 here. So in reverse order, one more point you can note, it will not consider n minus 1. So it will consider whatever the value it is, whatever the index value in negative integer. So what I'm saying, so before exit, okay, so let me comment this out and show you one more time. So if I access minus 1, what will be printed? If I access minus 1, so what will be printed?
English.
English, right? So same way, if I access minus 2, history will be printed. So what I'm saying, this is my ending. I'm not defining my start. So this is my end. End at minus 2. Start at whatever the starting point is. So English is the starting point. End at minus 2, I'm saying. So this is how both values are bought here. I hope this is clear.
Yes.
It's clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So similarly, there are some tasks you can practice it. Access the first item from a list um, of numbers. Slice, do a slicing of list. Indexing and slicing you can practice. So these are very important. So indexing and slicing, it comes all the way in for loops, while loops, strings, lists, and what we have tuples. So all of those we have indexing and slicing. So next, let's say I want to modify my list. So my list is colors red, green, blue, and I want to replace red with yellow. So I can say first I will access this list. So I'll say colors colors of 0. So I'll access this first. So this is how I'm accessing. So what it will bring? It will bring a red. So let me comment it out. So if I access this, it will bring red. So next what I'm saying, replace red with yellow. So this line says replace red with yellow. So I'm replacing. So if I print my list now, the red will not be printed. The yellow, green, blue will be printed. So this is how we can modify a list.
For replacing, do we? I think we have that command, right, to replace.
Yeah, that command is in strings.
Okay.
And here we have different commands. For a list, we have different commands. We'll see those.
Okay.
Okay, so next, similarly, player 1, player 2, player 3 we have. So if I want to, you know, modify player 2 with player X something, so I can modify that. So player 2 is replaced with player X. So this is how we can modify lists. So you can practice these tasks, how to modify a list. So this will give you some hands-on. Okay, so here are those methods. So how to add and update. So in strings, there are different methods. In list, there are different methods. So both are different data structures. So string is a different data structure, list is a different data structures. So string has different methods and a list also has different methods. Let's see them. Okay, so if I want to append, so append in the sense I want to add a number to my list. So what do I do? I can use this method numbers dot append 4. So this is my number that I want to append to my list. So if I print my list here, so it will be printed 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, when I say numbers dot insert, okay. So what I'm saying, so whenever you append, it will append at the end. Append happens at the end of the list. So you can see here, when I added 4, it added at the end of the list. So now with insert, let's see what happens here. So I have 1, 2, 3. What I said, instead of 1, insert 1.5. So it actually replaced that value. Oh, sorry, it actually inserted value after 1. So after 1, we inserted 1 value. So this is how insert. So we are no this is the default behavior of append. It appends at the end of the list. But using insert, if I want to insert an element after a certain item, then I can use that insert and insert it in a list. Next, I have pop. So what it will do, it will remove items from a list. So when I run the first time, it removed number 3. If I run one more time, it will remove one more element. We should have removed now. Okay, so by let me run it one more time. Pop 1. So if I give pop 1, okay, so this is removing based on index. Okay, so if I say numbers of pop 0, it will remove 1. Okay, so I think you have heard the concept of FIFO, first in, first out, last in, last out. Similarly, it is a default behavior of pop function. It's removing the last item first. So if you declare any index here, that value will be removed from the list first. Okay, so this is pop method. Similarly, you can use remove method. So remove, what it does, it removes. So 1 and 2 remain, 3 values removed. Okay, so remove, the difference between pop and remove is, for remove you have to give the, what it takes one argument, but default behavior of pop is it will remove the last element by default if you do not give anything, any index to it. So that is the difference between pop and remove. And we can sort a list. So this is the sort method. Numbers that sort, if I say 1, 2, 3, so it's actually sorted. So if I say 4 first and run it now, okay, so it's sorted our list in a ascending order. So next I have reverse a list. So I can do numbers dot reverse to reverse a list. This is 3 to 1. So this is how these are the list methods. Okay, so uh, if you want to see some samples with text-based lists, so I have task, assignment, project, presentation, print. This is my list, and if I want to add append one item to my list, I can say tasks dot append. Okay, I can remove one item from a list like this. So what is removed? Assignment. So we had assignment here, which is removed from the list, the first from the first place. Okay, so you can practice these list methods. So commonalities, this commonalities is with strings. So even strings indexes are also same. It works in the same way. Even lists also same way. But methods of lists and strings are different. So in strings, if you want to replace a string, you will say dot replace. But in list, that is different. So we don't say dot replace. Either we can insert or we can append or we can remove. So that is how it works in list. So we have to understand this difference also. So when we are solving some problems, first we need to check what type of data structure it is, whether it's a string or a list. And if it is a string, what methods I can use. If it is a list, what methods I can use. Okay. So similarly, we already seen in for loops, you can iterate over a list. So you can use for loops to iterate over a list. So I have city list, and if I want to use for loop to iterate over a list, and inside the list, if I want to write a logic, if city is Mumbai, then only print something like that. I can use for loops also. And similarly in shopping cart, so let's say I have added a list of items in my cart, I can run it, and I can add my further logic here inside my for loop, so that to write whatever conditions I need, I can print those. Okay, so you can practice all these to improve your hands-on on less. Similarly, store marks of students and calculate average, create shopping cart and add remove items, manage to-do list, maintain attendance list of students. So we can solve all these problems to improve your hands-on with lists. Okay. So here I bought this diagram to showcase what are the common operations. What I was talking about was uh, in these are the list operations so that we perform. uh, we have seen so far. So how to create a list, how to access a list, and how to define indexes of a list. If you are accessing list from beginning, if you are accessing list from the end of the list, and how to access list, how to slice a list, how to slice a list in reverse order, and what are the list methods, how to remove items from a list. So for adding items into the list, we'll use append and insert, and for removing items from a list, we'll use pop, remove, and delete also. So delete will delete the entire list. And we can use in operator. So we can use this in operator in for loops to find out like what are the uh, search, what are the list. I have a for loop and I have a list, sorry, I have a list of 3 to 4 items, and I have a text that I want to search. I can use in keyword. So I can use sort or sorted also I can use. So this will sort my list. So I can reverse, I can count also, count. So I can check index item of a list. So next I can copy a list also. Okay, so I can say dot copy. So this will copy my list. So let's see an example. So I have this list. List one is equal to list dot copy. If I say this, so it will copy my list to list one. So I can print list one. So this is how I can copy. Slicing we have seen, slicing in forward and reverse order. So you can clear, okay, so you can clear a list also. List dot clear function. You can use then list. If you try to access that list, so it says list is empty. Okay, so these are all the you know, act operations or that we perform on a list. So if you go through this, these are all the operations that we have. Okay, so all these we have already seen how to do. So pop function we have already seen. Okay, so one more thing with pop is it raises an index error if index is out of range. So if you have mentioned something that does not exist, so here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you mention any value that does not exist, it will raise an error. Okay, so remove, we have already seen remove also. Okay, delete, we'll see delete. So what does, okay. So delete can be used to delete slices of a list or the entire list itself, while pop only removes single element at a time. So delete can be used to delete two things, either a slice of a list or the entire list itself. So when I'm saying list is equal to this and delete of 0, 2. So 0 is my 1, 2. So what I'm saying 0 to 2 is here till here. So 1 to 2, this is 0 and 1. These two will be deleted and they will
It
not
is
come.
deleting.
Yeah,
So it is deleting. Like it's taking n minus one, right? Yeah.
yeah, this is n minus 1. So
So that's
indexes
why it
will
is.
always be n minus 1. Is 0, this is 1.
Yeah.
So when we
So
say
it is
2,
printing from
1
three,
and 2.
3, 5, 6.
Yes, yes. So what we are saying, first we are accessing the list and we are deleting that particular accessed list. So we are accessing 1 and 2 and then using delete function, we're deleting it. So the advantage of delete function is we can either delete the entire list itself. So if I say del, then it will delete the entire list. So nothing is printed here. But when it comes to pop, we can remove only one single value at a time, one single element item at a time. Okay, so that is the difference. Okay, so that's all we had for lists. So if you have any questions, you can come up or we'll wind up for today.
No, I don't have any question.
Okay, okay then. So keep practicing these and do a hands-on. So this
Yeah.
will be easier for you. So even the strings class, we had the same exact same. Only the part that is changed is some methods are different, but indexing, all those, they are same, exactly same. So you can go through that also. Uh, it will enhance your hands-on skills.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.